gas prices. Ugh. Am I right? Well, there is some news I need to tell you about. In a surprise move, OPEC Plus announced today it would increase production of oil by about 50% in July and August, which sounds great, right? Well, it's certainly better than nothing, but it may not be enough to solve the soaring gas prices we've been seeing here in the United States. Now, I know that doesn't really make sense, so I'm going to explain why experts believe that in a second. But first, let's talk about today's announcement. OPEC Plus, which is the major group of oil-producing countries led by Saudi Arabia, said it would increase oil production by 648,000 barrels a day. Of course, OPEC Plus had dramatically cut production during the pandemic and has been really hesitant to seriously ramp it back up to full steam ever since, even after the invasion of Ukraine by Russia seriously disrupted the oil market. Now, the White House responded to this OPEC Plus announcement today by acknowledging the role Saudi Arabia, the UAE, Kuwait, and Iraq played in moving up the production timeline to respond to these current oil market disruptions. Those disruptions include lots of things, but most recently, the news out of the European Union. Just this week, the bloc agreed to phase out nearly 90% of Russian oil in the next 6 months as part of a sanctions package for the invasion of Ukraine. So why is that a disruption? Because that means the EU is going to be looking elsewhere for oil to address the demand in those countries. Another big factor, China, which is the largest importer of crude. As its population comes out of this massive COVID lockdown, demand for oil is going to increase there too. And speaking of demand here in the United States, demand for gas has not slowed down, even though we keep hitting record prices. Today, the national average for a gallon of regular is $4.71, and it's hard for prices to go down when people keep driving and just absorbing these high costs. Not to mention, we just entered the summer driving season, which is when traditionally prices go up. So now to the reasons why experts believe this OPEC Plus announcement may not be enough to bring prices back down here in the US. First, many are skeptical that OPEC Plus can actually live up to this production projection because of the group's underinvestment in production for the last few years, among other things. And second, this pledge from OPEC Plus doesn't technically address how it can supplement the losses in the oil market because of these sanctions against Russia throughout the world. These fears sent oil prices higher today.